So the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's the stupidest combination I've heard in my life. That's the kind of thing Lou Diamond would have on his luggage.
Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Wish I could remember every second we had. I know I tried to count them all.
Welcome everyone to another spectacular, fantabulous, absolutely unbelievable episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you with the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, we have a certified public accountant, attorney, and tax planner who is a self-proclaimed tax nerd. Literally, she reads case law like some people binge watch Netflix. I stole that from her bio. It was just so freaking good. She is positively obsessed with helping clients structure their business in a way that legally saves them the maximum in taxes, funds their retirement accounts quicker, and avoid astronomical taxes when and if they sell. She released the book, Thinking Outside the Tax Box. We're going to have a lot of fun jumping outside of a whole bunch of boxes here today. Thrive Loud listeners, I bring you Christina Lael. Christina, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on your amazing podcast. Super excited to talk to you today.
For the listeners who have a real astute ear, they could tell that accent bounces somewhere between Tennessee and Carolina, and that's kind of where we're playing with today. Christina, this is interesting because, by the way, I've never seen anybody smile and be so excited about taxes my entire life. So here's what I want to do. I want to bring our listeners up to speed. I want to rewind a little bit to understand specifically how this specialty became your gig.
Okay. Yeah. Great question. Thank you, Lou. So like you said, I grew up in the Nashville, Tennessee area, if you can't tell by my accent, and went to school there and became a certified public accountant first while working for a Fortune 500 company in the tax department.
Okay.
And once I passed the test, which I passed for the first time I took the test, and that was at the time when you had to take four parts at one time. And most people didn't pass the first time, especially in Tennessee. I don't know what that says about Tennessee, but I was able to pass all four parts at once. And thankfully, and I worked right in downtown Nashville, they have a great night law school, Nashville School of Law, pretty much down the street from where I worked. So that was and at the time I was single before I was married. And so I had a little bit more time. And so decided that I really wanted to go into tax law because I was learning so much, getting my CPA license and then working for a Fortune 500 company in the tax department, and wanted to find out more, believe it or not, about tax law, but mostly how to save people money in taxes, how to save them money by reducing their taxes. So I was able to study with the top tax attorneys in Nashville's fantastic program, and started preparing actually my classmates' tax returns, because they're like, you're a CPA, you know how to do this. And no one else knew about the taxes. And so then it just really grew from there. They referred, other people to me. A financial advisor found out about me. I started getting all of his clients, and it just got to be so big because I was doing something that no one else was doing, that the other CPAs and accounting firms or accountants weren't doing, is actually helping people save money in taxes, being also an attorney and being able to study the top tax attorneys in Nashville. So it just grew by leaps and bounds until I had to quit my, my great job with corporate America. I never set out to be an entrepreneur myself, but it just grew so fast, and I had to and I loved what I was doing. So I wouldn't choose any other life now. I just love what I do. And it's super fun to save people money in taxes.
I'm diving in here. Listeners need to know, and they'll see some of this from some of the video clips here. She's got smiles ear to ear, and she's really enjoying this. So I need to understand this. Even going back further, I'm trying to understand what kind of person you are. Like, were you always like a problem solver? Were you that type of person that looks at something and tries to
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out how to solve it, or a faster way or better way to do it? What's your?
Oh, always a faster, better way to do it. I implemented systems in my other job, in my former life, that they are still using. And I know because my husband and I met at a company that I was working at, and I know that they still use the systems that I created before I became a lawyer.
Okay. So this is something that everyone is always looking at. And I say everyone, I'm talking about whether you're in your professional role in your job and you're looking at your business, whether you're an individual and you're in a different, whatever stage of life you're at. Unfortunately, the tax laws are just not as simple as anyone can figure out. And as we continue to evolve and our businesses change, our geographies change and all this stuff, it becomes even more complicated.
Yes.
So I want to almost understand, and this is, before we think outside the tax box, I want to get into the box here. I want to understand when you're dealing with the clients that you deal with, what you need to know to try to figure out the ideal solution for you. I would love to know your kind of your inquiry or your learning process in the very beginning so that you can understand their situation. Because as we all know, everybody has a unique and different tax situation across the world. Right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when I talk to people, Lou, I ask them lots of questions about their certain situation, and I can help anyone save money in taxes as long as they're actually making money. If you're not making money, that's kind of hard because you're not paying any taxes. But if you're actually paying taxes, I can help you save money in taxes. And that's from a business owner to the high net worth individuals, from people receiving a K-1 or W-2 or CEOs of companies that are making a lot of money and paying a lot of money in taxes. And what happened actually, because we grew so quickly and I was working with so many people one-on-one, which I still do. And I love doing that. And I can work with each individual one-on-one, me and my team, putting together a tax plan for them, implementing a tax plan, showing them how they can save money in taxes because of what we do, and then filing their tax returns. I was actually turning business away. Like if people, made under a certain amount, I was turning people away. And that really broke my heart, really, because I only had so much time. So what I did is I created a program like LegalZoom, but for tax savings. And it's the only thing out there on the market today, so that any business owner, if they're making a profit at all, they can use this program that I created for a fraction of the cost of what it cost to work with me individually or my team. And they can go in, it asks them specific questions. They answer those very simple questions, fill in some of their very simple information about themselves and their business, and then it implements the strategies for them and produces all the documents and simple instructions to follow to implement all the strategies. So that is it's the only thing on the market. So if you don't or can't work with me one-on-one, that is all also an option, and it's been phenomenally popular. So that's been real exciting to release.
We're going to track this. We're going to see if this is the most clicked on link we ever have put in the show notes for any episode ever. Christina, this is something I will get to my own personal tax situation in a minute, but I want to get to the type of clients that you're dealing with. And I know this isn't the right way to word this question, but I want to ask in a way, when you start working with somebody new, what is the most common, I want to say almost mistake that businesses or high net worth individuals or your clients are making beforehand as it relates to their income or their revenue before they start working with you? The most common thing that you see that is almost the easiest thing for you to adjust.
Right. Great. Yes. Good question. So a lot of times people come to me and their entity is not taxed correctly according to their situation. And it's more than just, let me elect to be an S corporation. There are other options as well. And then what I do, Lou, through the Freedom Tax Plan program, which is what I just talked about, which I created for people to do themselves at a fraction of the cost, or if they want to work with me individually, basically what I'm able to do is not only implement some advanced tax saving strategies, but basically increase your expenses and your business expenses without actually spending more money. And let me give you an example, because I know you're going to ask me about that. Like, how is that possible? Because some people, if they do any kind of tax planning with maybe their accountant, the thing that their accountant may recommend is, just contribute more to retirement, which is fine. You're saving for retirement, that's okay. But you're contributing maybe $10,000 to a retirement plan to save $3,000, or maybe buy new equipment, or buy a new truck. Okay, that's fine. And if you need a new truck or equipment, that's great, but you're spending more than you're actually saving in taxes.
Yeah.
So what I do, to me, that's not true tax planning. So what I do is reduce your taxes without, or by increase. One of the ways I do it is by increasing your expenses without you having to spend more money.
Yeah.
For example, there is a very specific way you can rent out your home to your own business when done correctly, which we can implement for you, so that your business will pay you rent. So it's a business deduction for the business. So that decreases your income and increases your expenses. The business pays you individually, but you do not have to report that income. Again, very specific way that you do that. When you work with me or sign up for Freedom Tax Plans, I'll tell you exactly how to do that. So that's a way. So you're increasing your expenses without spending any more money, because even if you're renting a home, and even if you don't own a home, you can use this.
I like it. Christina, there are many different rules in many different states.
Yes.
Every state's got their own thing going on. So first step of the question is, obviously you're based in Tennessee. Are you licensed to practice outside of Tennessee, or you can practice in multiple states? Who do you work with, or who can you work with?
Oh, great question. So we work with clients all over the United States.
Yeah.
So being a CPA, under my CPA license, which is more of a federal license, I can file tax returns, and my team can file tax returns under Lael Tax LLC anywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my law license, and I'm licensed in Tennessee. And then for my CPA license, I'm licensed in Tennessee and Florida, because we spend some of our time in Florida in the winter. But we've got clients all over the United States, just about in every state.
So now let's go back to there are a lot of complicated states, Miss Yu. And by the way, you're just mentioning an interesting one. There are many people who literally, and COVID brought this about even more so than anything else, they're changing their geography to take advantage of states that don't actually have the taxes. One, good tax strategy. And two, tell people how they can be careful about this. I'm sure you know about this and what the rules are. And I know it's different in every state, but maybe kind of general.
Right. Yeah. And we have a lot of clients in California and in the Northeast.
I feel for them. I feel for them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm one of them. So yeah.
I know. We have so many clients in California, which I totally understand, because the weather is, I have to go from one house to another throughout the year for good weather, and they just stay in the same state, but they pay a lot of money in taxes unless they work with me. And then we greatly reduce their taxes. So they're paying a much more fair amount. Some people are moving to different states, to Florida. I have one client moving to Texas. I have some clients moving to Florida. I do warn them that it's very, very warm in the summer. So they may want to move somewhere else for the summer, be somewhere else. It is really hot. But the thing that people have to realize, and some people have even come to me like, I heard I could move to Puerto Rico, or, which can sometimes be an option. But the thing you have to be careful about with that is, of course, you want to make sure that you do it correctly. And you want to make sure that where is your income sourced from? Where are you receiving your income? So if you move from California to Florida, but you're still receiving income from somewhere in California, you're going to be paying California taxes.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it correctly, and really establish residency, which there's specific ways to do that, which are really very simple, but you just have to know. And that's the whole thing with the tax code.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of the tens of thousands of pages of tax code is what is non-taxable, or what can be taxed at a reduced rate, but it's just knowing how to implement correctly those strategies.
Christina, which do you like doing most? Okay. Is it growing the business that you have, which is the hat of running the company that you have, which I'll talk about in a minute, getting into the nooks and crannies and solving these problems, or, with their clients, or trying to decode there's always new tax laws, new tax rules coming out that is getting added to the mix. Those are like three hats. There's almost like the research, there's the operation piece of your work, and there's like the leadership part of it. Which hat do you like wearing?
Lou, what I really enjoy is working with clients and finding out and showing them what we can do to implement the strategies for them to help them save money in taxes. But what's interesting is that because I love that so much and I'm so passionate about that, and that's really what I focus on in my business, I have an amazing team that I've been able to develop, is that it naturally grows, from that. And we emphasize, of course, treating the clients right. We love all our clients, and my team is amazing. So it's just like a natural growth, because I think I am so passionate about getting the word out there that you can save money in taxes and how to solve different problems or challenges for each client.
Christina, even the best brain surgeons can't operate on themselves. Christina, when it comes to your own tax situation, you seek out some people in your firm. You look to other experts. Tell me what you do from when it comes to your own personal tax situations and what you look to try to help yourself.
Yeah, it's a little bit different with taxes, because basically all the strategies that I teach people to use, I use myself. And that's how I got started, is I use these strategies myself. Just when I started, before I even had a business, and was just learning all these things in law school and these strategies. So I use all the strategies myself.
I love it.
For taxes. Yeah. So it works out really well. So actually I can do brain surgery on myself.
I was about to say, she's got a scalpel and she's got a really handy mirror. And
now I always tend to do it last.
Yes.
My tax return is the last one to be filed. My books are the last ones to be reconciled, but I use the same strategies.
Christina, how large is the company that you have? What has it grown to? A number of people or,
Yeah. We've got hundreds of clients, and we've got 9 people on staff. Yeah. Including myself, and very, amazing, people, a CPA, a former tax professor at the master's level. We have some great assistants that helps each accountant. We also have someone has had decades of experience in taxes. So, and I put in the time and the effort, and I've actually hired people, administrative assistants, communication experts, just to communicate with the clients and make sure that everything is done on time and that we get everything that we need and that they're taken care of.
Thinking outside the tax box. Okay. First of all, what inspired you to write the book? And I can imagine there's just some hints and ideas about what the book is about. Maybe share with the listeners what this project of yours is about.
And I actually co-wrote that with some other authors through the Certified Institute of Tax Professionals, which I am one of 60. That's an organization out of California. And that's talking about research. That's a great program that I'm involved in, where we do a lot of the research with the new tax code. And I can talk to other tax professionals as well. And we look at the tax code all the time. So just getting the word out there, Lou, that you can save money in taxes. Certainly any business owner can save money in taxes. And then if you want to work with me individually, the CEOs, people that get K-1s or W-2s or high net worth individuals that work for a company, there's advanced tax saving strategies that I can implement for you. And we have all these kinds of clients.
Christina, I love asking guests this question. I am dying to know where this goes. And I'm hoping it doesn't go in one direction. I'm hoping it goes another way. And that is, look, you've been thriving from the minute you got right out of school and you started becoming an accountant. And you've obviously been doing this tax planning for many, many years now, created a successful business, and you are thriving on most days.
Yes.
But we all have those days when we're a little off our game and we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. Christina Lael, when you have trouble thriving, what practice do you seek, or maybe which individual do you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Oh, that is a great question. So I read a lot of business books and self-help books constantly, or I love taking walks. I really believe in work-life balance. So yeah, I'm always reading business books and inspirational books.
At least it wasn't tax books. I was just making sure.
It's not.
Okay, good. You're the self-proclaimed tax nerd. I just want to be clear here. And she's very proud of it.
Yes. And I do listen to a lot of podcasts too. I love podcasts.
That's awesome. Let's do this. Let's do the admin part of the show before we go down Fun Street, even though we've been having fun from the very beginning. Share with the listeners all the places people can find you, Thinking Outside the Tax Box, websites, URLs, social handles. We will put it on the show notes, but it always gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
The main thing I would recommend for people to do, very simple, is just to go to freedomtaxplans, plural.com. Freedom Tax Plans, binge-watch.com. In the upper right-hand corner, that's my website, it says for podcast listeners, and they can listen to a free webinar, either a longer one or a shorter one, if they're short on time, about the top 5 tax saving strategies that most business owners are missing out on. Towards the end of that, if you want to schedule a meeting with me one-on-one, you can, or you can sign up for Freedom Tax Plans. Or if you just want to go ahead and schedule a meeting with me right away, there's a way to do that on that page. All kinds of information. So Freedom Tax Plans.
It's a really good. Hey, I'm there right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay, great.
This is spectacular. I love this. This is good. This is by far the best. This is by far the best link I've seen for podcast listeners. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what it is. Look at this: pre-recorded content, live webinar content, all your program plans, everything right there on one simple thing with some. With some success and testimonials on the site.
Yes.
Oh, you look at you. Very cool.
Well, I will tell my marketing manager about that because I have not done that in a while. I used to do that at the very beginning. I never did a website, but I will tell him and my IT guy. They worked really hard on that. So thank you.
Excellent job. That's really good. Really, really clean and very crisp and very simple.
Yeah.
Christina.
Yeah. So just click on podcast listeners at the top.
Yep, already there. Podcast listener in the upper right side. We'll even take a screenshot of that thing and put it on. I think it's so good.
Yeah, that's the absolute best way. That has everything.
Christina, you ready to go down Fun Street?
Oh yeah.
Listeners have to understand that she's got the best smile in the entire world. Ear to ear here. It's spectacular. Unbelievable. It's even better than the podcast artwork. We should take another picture afterwards. We'll make sure we put that on social. Okay, Christina, I'm going to start off by asking you a very simple question.
Okay.
Do you have an all-time favorite movie you love to watch?
Yes. Schindler's List. I was in.
Okay, now I'm going to stop here. Why does Schindler's List and why does this movie connect with you?
I remember being in the theater with my mom and just at the end, just bawling. I mean, ugly crying. I was almost on the floor. I was about to actually go on this mission trip. This was years ago when it came out, obviously, within my church, and just the impact that you can make on other people's lives. It just struck a chord with me. And I'm an easy crier, but
that's a legitimate one to cry on, by the way. And as good as Liam Neeson and Ben Kingsley are in this movie, but the stories and Spielberg is just unbelievable. By the way, it's a tough one.
And then at the end when they were walking, the actual characters walking with the people that they. Oh my gosh, I'll start crying now.
But that's great. A great movie that means so much. Usually we get a lot of lighter stuff like in comedies and things like that. But no, I love it. We gotta mix it up a little bit.
Princess Bride, it's always a good one.
we love that. But no, this is good. This is classic. We like checking it off the list. You ready to go down the speed round of Fun Street here? And this is how we go, Christina. I'm going to ask you something. I want the first thing that comes to your mind. These are things that lift you up, that motivate you, that make you feel good, that basically make you thrive. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
She's going to randomly shoot something out, but I'm going to actually ask her a question. But yes, what were you about to say?
I was going to say I've played golf and tennis a lot.
I'll get
there.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes.
Of late, a song you love to listen to or one that pumps you up?
A song. Let me see.
Or an artist that you like to listen
to. Believe it or not, I actually listen to a lot of classical music.
Okay.
And so I don't just put it on random with Amazon when I'm working. And I love it. Is
there a composer that you like more than others?
Well, I actually like kind of the more modern classical artists, like Lindsay Sterling.
Okay.
She's amazing and she's an incredible dancer and she also sings. There's another violinist. Yo-Yo Ma is just incredible. So in the summer, I'm in the mountains of North Carolina in a little place called Cashiers, and we have concerts here, classical concerts from the best musicians all over the world because they want to come here because it's cooler in the summer. And oh my gosh, there was this violinist, Emily, I can't think of her last name, and like this cellist, and we were right there. It was just amazing. So
love it.
Any classical music, I just love.
Favorite food that's not a dessert?
Oh, good steak. Prime rib.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Oh, any kind of ice cream, sundaes.
What flavor is your favorite?
Any like maybe a cheesecake, raspberry cheesecake with some nuts.
All right. She's got a mixing ice cream.
Whipped cream.
An activity you wish you did more of?
Oh, well, I don't know if I could do more of, but I play golf and tennis a lot. Both of those things.
An activity you wish you did less of?
That's a good question. I have an amazing, I have to say, I've structured my life pretty well. Any kind of cleaning, I guess.
Okay.
Even though I have a maid, but if I have to wipe down the counter once in a while.
If I could snap my fingers, Christina, and you could be anywhere in the world, where are you?
I'm right where I am, Cashiers, North Carolina. It's amazing right now.
Love it. Christina Lael, thank you so much for coming on the program. Everybody, freedomtaxplans.com. Go check it out. Click that upper right corner for podcast listeners. And such a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you for what you're doing. I am talking to you personally after the show. And
okay.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.